Live and direct from the planet of Queens, New York. Soccer Senseis, Rodrigo Salazar, Feliz Artunda. It's Colombia versus Uruguay. And I do that because, as you saw, I'm sure you saw, Luis Suarez is biting. And let's just talk about that before, because it's really getting me, it's pissing me off. And I'm sorry I'm cursing, but this is going to be kind of like a curse-filled preview because I don't like that. That's BS. You don't bring down the game with your little antics. And as much as Uruguay is known as doing that, this is not the place for it. This is not the stage. This is a World Cup. It had an adverse effect on the game. Right, the next play after that bite, when Luis Suarez bit Cellini, Godin scored. Okay, you won, but you won the wrong way. That was fucked up. Okay, and you guys were not going to win that game. It was going to be a draw, and a draw meant that Italy went through. So it was kind of like, let's do this, and we know that it's going to get the team out of their zone. And what happened? They scored the next match. I mean, the next play. Ellis, am I wrong? Am I as incensed as you are? Or
even though we do know that defenders in general, they provoke their strikers, Rodrigo, but you have to be disciplined enough to handle all the provocations. What Zidane did to Materazzi in the end was inexcusable. You cannot take it that way, especially in the soccer field, as you affect all your teammates and the fans themselves. So it did a lot to his reputation. And so Luis Suarez, this is his third time. He's done it in Holland with Ajax, against a PSV Eindhoven player, Bakal, and he was suspended for 7 games. He did it with against Chelsea, against Ivanovic. They gave him a 10-game suspension.
Yeah.
This is third time.
Not cool.
He cannot continue performing this way.
And I mean, it sounds very pie in the sky, but kids, there's little kids watching this game. I mean, there's kids that don't watch any sport, any soccer, any football, and then they watch this and they try to emulate, Neymar. They try to emulate Messi. You got kids emulating Suarez. I mean, no, it's messed up. As of right now, I think Luis Suarez will be suspended for this match, and maybe going forward, he will be suspended for the rest of the World Cup. It's still not 100%. FIFA is looking at it because there was cameras everywhere. And everybody saw it. I don't know if you were able. You saw when Cellini goes like this, and then one of the Uruguayan guys was like, no, cover that.
Yeah, Jimenez was.
Yeah, Jimenez. Yeah. Come on. That's right. But let's get to Uruguay, Colombia, which is the next game, and we're gonna go by the fact that Luis Suarez will not play, hopefully. And I'm not saying that as a Colombian. I'm saying that as a lover of the Jogo Bonito. I think that Colombia will be ready for this. Because if they're not, then they're not doing a good job, as a team. Coach Peckerman will have these guys ready to say, listen, they're going to try to get you out of your game. Just play your game. And I hope Colombia wins. And I think it'll be 1-0. It's going to be a good game. I want to say Uruguay is a great team. They play well. They didn't play well against Italy. But it's going to be a good match. But ultimately, I think Colombia has more talent. James Rodriguez, he's playing really well. Guardian is back from suspension. I was waiting for Jackson Martinez to get on the pitch, and he's on there now. So I think ultimately Colombia will take this. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you, Rodrigo. I think they have too many weapons in the midfield area and up front. We've seen them yesterday. Guardian came in, he performed very well. Ramos and Jackson Martinez also got to start for the first time against Japan, and they were able to both Martinez was able to be on the score sheet. So we see that they do have replacements up front.
Yeah.
Even if their top strikers are having a bad field day. On the other hand, Uruguay, they're very dependent on Luis Suarez. As soon as he came in against England, 2 goals.
Yeah.
Yesterday too, he caused chaos in that Italian backline. He was one of the reasons that they struggled so much. Yes, they do have some great midfielders. I've seen Arevalo Rios perform tremendously this World Cup. Very excited about this player. But in the end, Colombia, they have the speed, they have the physicality, and they have players who have performed really, really well this past season in Europe. So I'll take him to go through.
Yeah, like I said, I think they're going to do it. They have too much creativity. You know, you have Quintero, you have Rodriguez, you have Guarin, who's kind of like plays like a little bit like Clint Dempsey, you know, mid forward. So I think Colombia's going to win it, and unfortunately, I think the whole world wants Colombia to win because you know Uruguay. Honestly, you said Uruguay. Luis Suarez, you messed up, man. You really messed up. And I mean, this was a wonderful, beautiful World Cup, and things like this really just, you know, it's uncalled for. Thanks for joining us on Soccer Sensei's Extra Time.